How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. Now, I'm telling all of you straight up, this video is going to be a quick one, and as a matter of fact, I don't know how much of a preview you guys might actually get out of this, because I'm going to be blunt and straight to the point. The reason for that is, one, I am battling a cold right now, as I'm sure some of you might be able to tell from my voice. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But in addition to that, my body is also very, very sore right now. See, I started up the Insanity workout again a couple days ago, and that was the same workout that I did last summer when I dropped 20 plus pounds. And you know, any of you out there who've done the workout, you don't need an explanation from me on it. But for those of you who haven't done it, you know, maybe you've seen the infomercials on TV. It's a very intense workout program, and through each workout in that series, you put your body through hell. And put it this way, if you're not sore after doing one of those workouts, you're either not doing it right or you're not human. So that explains that. So I'm going to make this as quick as I can, just so I can, you know, get some icy hot on my muscles and whatnot, and just, you know, relax this cold away, hopefully. But anyway, on to the game this week. Now, this week, the Irish, for their senior day in South Bend, will be hosting the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Now, Wake Forest is currently 5-5 on the year, and I know that you can't really base a whole team completely on numbers, because sometimes the numbers can be deceiving. But this is a Wake Forest team that has been pretty much kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde sort of like team. You know what I mean? You know, they're very inconsistent, and from week in and week out, you don't know what kind of team is going to show up. I mean, you know, looking at their schedule, you know, they struggled. They won, but they struggled with Liberty, an FCS opponent. They lost to Maryland, which is not a very good football team, and you know, just it's been a. You look at their schedule. It's just been all over the place. You look at their statistics. It's all over the place. However, though, this is a team that has trap game written all over it. And we've seen enough of those already with teams like Pittsburgh and Purdue and Brigham Young. And even though I'm kind of down-talking the Demon Deacons right now, I do believe that this team is probably going to play the best football of the season on Saturday against us. Because this is that time of the year when teams like Wake Forest, who are pretty much out of the running for a conference championship, at the very best can get a minor bowl bid. You know, they're going to want to try to play a spoiler like the rest of the teams will be played up until this point. And I do expect them to play probably their best football on Saturday. So this team, despite their record, despite the numbers that I've seen, they're not going to be a pushover. And the biggest mistake that we can make is either, you know, the football team themselves or us as fans is to overlook this team into next week against Southern Cal. So we got to take care of business on Saturday first before we worry about that, because the teams that you overlook are the ones that will get you. But breaking down the Demon Deacons a little bit, one of the few bright spots that I've noticed from their team is quarterback Tanner Price. You know, he's put up decent numbers. You know, nothing spectacular, but you know, he's passed for almost 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and I believe he has a completion percentage of about 54 or 55%, somewhere in there. But other than that, this team is just, as I said, inconsistent. You know, one week they're really good, one week they're really bad. That's really all you can say about this team. But, you know, they found a way to have a 500 record. Now, one stat that really got my attention when I was doing whatever research I could for this game is the Demon Deacon offensive line has given up a total of 23 sacks. So that right there tells me that our defensive front seven should have no problem taking on their offensive line. And I think that's going to be a big difference in the game on Saturday. But really, you know, I'm not trying to get overconfident or sound arrogant here, but really, Wake Forest is a team that we should have no problem taking care of. You know, we just have too much talent. We out-talent them by far. You know, I know we're going to be without a couple guys like DeVaris Daniels, who broke his clavicle in last week's game against Boston College. He's expected to miss the rest of the regular season and be back in time for the bowl game. But even with the loss of him, I still think we have plenty of talent in that receiving core to spread around, and this will give us a great opportunity to use and utilize Chris Brown more and use his speed to our advantage. And really, I don't see any reason why we can't blow these guys out of the water. I mean, I know I've said that a lot this year, and a few times it hasn't exactly panned out that way, but this is different. This is senior day. This is the last game for guys like Manti Te'o, Tyler Eifert, Sierra Wood. Well, actually, I think Sierra has another year of eligibility, but I could be wrong. But Mike Golick Jr., a lot of these guys that have just been playing their hearts out for us the last 4 years, and so there's no way we're losing on senior day. I mean, I think I can for sure correctly call that, And what's also awesome is I'm going to be there to witness it. Just found out that my dad was able to score us some free tickets, and hey, who doesn't like free stuff? So I will be there in attendance this Saturday in South Bend at Notre Dame Stadium on Senior Day. So I know I've talked to a few of you guys already, but if there's anyone out there who's going to be at the game this Saturday, and if you want to get in touch, just send me a message here on YouTube. Let me know. We'll exchange numbers, and we'll take it from there. I know I'm meeting 3 of you guys already, so yeah, it could be quite a busy day for me. Also, something really cool that I wanted to share with all of you before I wrap this video up. My buddy Shamrock Jerry, earlier this evening, called in live to the Checkerboard podcast, of course, which, as we all know, is the Tennessee Volunteer podcast radio show, which is co-hosted by Big Ball Daddy. Jerry called in live, and I didn't hear this live when it happened, but after I was told about it, I went to the site and listened to the broadcast on our archives. And let me tell you something. To Big Ball Daddy, to Shamrock Jerry, to the hosts of the show, that was incredible, guys. That was just unfreaking real. I could go on all day describing how cool it was, but I'll tell you guys this. I encourage all of you to go to the Checkerboard Podcast website and listen to that broadcast. It was during hour number 1 when Jerry called in. And I'll tell you guys one thing. That is what we call respect and friendship. That is what that broadcast had written all over it. And all of you guys on that show did an incredible job, and it blew me away. That was awesome. That was just really awesome. The respect that exists between two fans of opposing schools, and But you guys go listen for yourself. And guys, Jerry, Big Ball Daddy, the only thing that I suggest is next time you guys not try to talk at the same time. But hey, that happens. It's the audio problems do happen and whatnot. So, but seriously, all you guys go to the Checkerboard Podcast. Listen to that broadcast. It was unbelievable. So with that, guys, this is Indy Sean 45 signing off. Go Irish, beat Wake Forest.